Buckle up, racing fans! Today we're diving into the most heart-stopping, brutal crashes in Formula One history. These are the moments that left us all on the edge of our seats, the ones etched into the very DNA of this sport. We'll relive the fear, the uncertainty, and the sheer awe as these gladiators of motorsport cheated death at the very edge of the limit. This isn't just about bent metal and shattered carbon fiber, though. It's about the human stories behind the visors, the courage to climb back into the cockpit after staring into the abyss. We'll explore how these crashes not only tested the limits of human endurance, but also forced the sport to evolve, pushing safety boundaries further with each terrifying impact. So join me as we journey through time, revisiting 10 crashes that shook the Formula One world to its core. Imola, 1994, a weekend that began with a shudder, a premonition of the darkness to come. Rubens Barrichello's terrifying crash during practice, then the tragic death of Roland Ratzenberger during qualifying, cast a long shadow over the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari. But the race went on, a decision that would forever haunt the sport. On lap 7, the world held its breath. Ayrton Senna, the maestro himself, the three-time world champion, lost control of his Williams at the infamous Tamburello corner. The car, a blur of blue and white, slammed into the concrete wall at an unimaginable speed. The silence that followed was deafening. The world watched, hoping against hope as medical teams rushed to Senna's aid. But deep down, we all knew, Senna's death sent shockwaves through the motorsport world. The Nürburgring, 1976. A circuit feared and revered in equal measure, the Green Hell as it was known, was a monster of a track, unforgiving and relentless. It was here on that fateful day that Niki Lauda faced his demons in a battle that transcended sport. Rain lashed the circuit, turning the asphalt into a treacherous, slippery ribbon. The conditions were horrendous, visibility near zero, but the race went on. Then, on lap 2, disaster struck. Lauda, pushing his Ferrari to the limit, lost control at the fast Bergwerk left-hander. The car, a scarlet projectile, slammed into the barrier before erupting into a raging inferno. Suzuka, 2014. The Japanese Grand Prix, a race steeped in history and drama, would become etched in our minds for a different reason. A typhoon loomed, casting a shadow over the circuit, mirroring the sense of foreboding that hung heavy in the air. The rain was torrential, the track treacherous. As the light began to fade, a sense of urgency filled the air. Then, on lap 42, the unthinkable happened. Jules Bianchi, the young Ferrari protege, a driver on the cusp of greatness, lost control of his Marussia at the Dunlop curve. The car aquaplaned, spearing off the track and colliding with a recovery vehicle, attending to another incident. The impact was sickening. The world watched in horror as the red flag flew, the race halted. Bianchi, trapped in the wreckage, was immediately rushed to the hospital. Montreal, 2007. The Canadian Grand Prix, known for high-speed thrills, set the stage for a dramatic crash. Robert Kubica, the Polish star for BMW Sauber, faced a brush with fate. On lap 26, Kubica clipped the back of Jarno Trulli's Toyota. What followed was heart-stopping. His car launched into the air, slamming into the wall at 180 miles per hour. The car disintegrated, finally resting upside down. Marshals and medical personnel rushed to the scene. Bahrain, 2020. The Bahrain Grand Prix, usually a spectacle of speed and strategy, took a terrifying turn just seconds after the lights went out. Romain Grosjean, driving for Haas, was about to be at the center of a crash that would etch itself into Formula One history. As the pack surged towards turn 3, a tangle of cars led to contact, sending Grosjean's car spearing off the track at high speed. The impact was horrifying. The car, a blur of black and gold, pierced the steel barrier, splitting in two and erupting into a raging inferno. The world watched in stunned silence. A collective gasp of horror rippled through the millions watching around the globe. The flames were intense, the smoke thick and black, obscuring the wreckage from view. For what felt like an eternity, there was no sign of Grosjean. Jerez, 1990. The Spanish Grand Prix was the stage for a crash that shook the Formula One community to its core. Martin Donnelly, a young and promising driver for Lotus, was about to face a life-altering moment. The sun beat down on the circuit, the air thick with anticipation. As the cars roared around the track, a battle for position was unfolding. Then, on lap 26, disaster struck. Donnelly, pushing his Lotus to the limit, lost control at the high-speed right-hander before the final corner. The car, a blur of green and yellow, veered off the track, slamming into the barrier with terrifying force. The impact was sickening. The Lotus, ripped apart by the force of the crash, disintegrated into a shower of debris. Donnelly, still strapped into his seat, was thrown clear of the wreckage. Silence descended upon the circuit. Hungary, 2009. The Hungaroring, known for its tight corners and unforgiving nature, was the setting for a freak accident that would have lasting consequences. Felipe Massa, locked in a fierce battle for the championship, was about to face his biggest challenge. The race was in full swing, the tension palpable as drivers pushed their cars to the edge. Suddenly, a piece of debris from another car struck Massa's helmet as he exited the high-speed turn 4. The impact, though seemingly minor, had catastrophic consequences. The force of the debris momentarily knocked Massa unconscious, causing his Ferrari to veer off the track and slam into the tire barrier. The world watched in horror as the red car, a symbol of speed and Italian passion, lay crumpled against the barrier. Medical teams rushed to Massa's aid, the severity of the situation becoming increasingly clear. Massa, seriously injured, was airlifted to the hospital. Zolder, 1982. The Belgian Grand Prix, a race known for its fast straights and unpredictable weather, would become etched in motorsport history for a tragedy that silenced a nation. Gilles Villeneuve, the charismatic Canadian driving for Ferrari, was about to embark on his final lap. The atmosphere at the track was electric. Villeneuve, a fan favorite known for his daring overtakes and flamboyant driving style, was vying for pole position. But a cloud of tension hung in the air, a sense of foreboding that something wasn't right. During qualifying, Villeneuve, pushing his Ferrari to the absolute limit, encountered the slow-moving march of Jochen Mass. A miscommunication, a split-second decision, and then tragedy. The two cars collided. Villeneuve's Ferrari launched into the air with terrifying force. The car, a scarlet blur, somersaulted through the air before crashing down in a mangled heap. The world watched in stunned silence as the red flag flew. The session halted. Valencia, 2010. The European Grand Prix held on the streets of this vibrant Spanish city. Mark Webber, driving for Red Bull, was about to experience a moment he'd never forget. On lap 9, Webber was closely following the Lotus of Heikki Kovalainen. Webber misjudged his braking point and collided with Kovalainen's car. Webber's Red Bull soared over the top of Kovalainen's car. Adelaide, 1995. The Australian Grand Prix, the final race of the season, was set to be a thrilling climax to the championship battle. But for Mika Häkkinen, the Flying Finn, the weekend would take a dramatic and life-altering turn. The Adelaide street circuit, known for its high-speed blasts and unforgiving walls, was a fitting stage for the season finale. The atmosphere was electric, the tension palpable as drivers prepared for the ultimate test. During Friday practice, disaster struck. Häkkinen, pushing his McLaren to the limit, suffered a tire failure at high speed approaching the treacherous Brewery Bend. The car, a silver and white blur, slammed into the concrete wall with bone-jarring force. The impact was sickening, the McLaren disintegrating into a shower of debris. Häkkinen, unconscious and seriously injured, was trapped in the wreckage. These crashes, etched into Formula One history, are more than just accidents. They remind us of the risks these athletes take every time they race. The bravery and recovery is a testament to the human spirit. These events are catalysts for change. Each crash pushes the boundaries of safety further. From Imola to Bahrain, Formula One has evolved. The legacy of these crashes is enduring. Progress comes at a cost, and safety is an ongoing pursuit. Stay safe and see you on the next lap.